Hey guys, welcome to FreeToBeFit 6-pack ab meals. For today's special, we are going to do a summer spinach soup with veal meatballs. It's inspired by me watching a Wolverine movie, and they were sitting in Japan and she was making a soup, and I'm like, I really would like to have a nice light soup. So what you will need: about 4 ounces of ground veal, spinach leaves, 1 egg, a teaspoon of olive oil, half a cup of chopped white onions, half a cup of chopped green onions, 1 carrot chopped up, and 2 cups of broth. This makes just 1 serving. Let's get started. To start, turn on the heat on low. Pour about 1 teaspoon of olive oil. You can skip that completely if you want, but I really like the flavor and the depth that simmered onion gives to a soup. Add just the white onions. They're all mixed in there with green. And let's simmer it together and just move it around. Now simmer that on low for about 3 minutes. You can also have an option of adding your spices now or later. I'm actually gonna go ahead and add my teaspoon of FreeToBeFit spices now, so they can that they can rehydrate with the onion, and then the onion will also take on the spices flavor, which creates just a different layer and dimension. Also, while we ahead of time, what I did is just boiled up some eggs. Make sure that you drop them in cold water. That will make it easier to peel, so you don't get that outer membrane layer in it. It just doesn't taste good. So I cooked this ahead of time. It takes, just pour them, cover with water, and boil about 5-7 minutes. This will make it hard-boiled eggs. You can skip eggs altogether if you don't want it, but it really makes a nice touch. I can hear it simmering. It's been about a couple minutes. At this point, I will add my chicken broth. And you want about 2 cups of chicken broth. 2 or 3 cups. Chicken broth is so low in calories, it's like 5 calories per 1 cup. So 2 or 3, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and use the whole thing. And carrots. We're leaving the green onions for to decorate it at the end. Now let's make the veal meatballs. What you want to take about just a tablespoon worth, roll it around in your hands, and drop them in. 4 ounces of meat or 5 ounces wet meat will make about 3.5 ounces of dried when it's cooked, because the moisture is cooked out. And this makes about, I think, 6 to 7 meatballs. Again, you just want like a ping pong size or golf size. And it's really easy. Plus, soups are really very filling. And for example, in Russia, it's kind of traditional to have soup for lunch, and our lunch is the biggest meal of the day, not dinner. So it goes breakfast, dinner, lunch. So the meal at the end of the day is lighter. Wash your hands or wipe them, and we will add the bay leaf now. You want to add the bay leaf now when it's cooking, and then when it's done, when the soup is done, you want to take it out so there is no bitterness. Just 1 bay leaf and some rosemary twigs. And I can close it. We just added the bay leaf and we want some rosemary. I bought fresh rosemary and let it dry, because it's just too much to use it. And I'm using half of the twig. If you have this much, that's pretty good, but it's way too much. Just will be overpowering with other flavors. Mix it together. smells wonderful. Bring it on high. We want to bring it to a boil, and then we'll turn it down and simmer on low for about 10 minutes. We don't want to simmer it too long because then the meat will dry up, but we want it to be cooked. And of course you can do the test, the meat test, which is I always do. You gotta try it out before you eat. So let's bring it to a boil and simmer. Oh, one more thing. The reason why I'm not cooking the spinach cooks really fast. It becomes all mushy, and I really don't care too much for that consistency. I like it crunchy, and that's the reason why we're keeping it fresh. But once you put the broth on top of the spinach, it'll actually cook it slightly, but it'll preserve the crunch. Perfect. It's been a couple minutes. The soup is boiling. Put it on low, cover it up, and let it simmer about 10 minutes, not more. Well guys, it's been about 10 minutes. And if you're using less meat, obviously, or less chicken broth, you'll want to cook it for less. Turning it off, we got our cup of spinach. We'll put it in, and don't forget to take out the bay leaf. So you wouldn't want to eat that. Look how pretty it is. No. And the thing is, this is very low calorie. The whole thing is about 250 calories. Get all the meatballs. There we go. And again, the spinach will have its crunch because we didn't cook it. Egg time. It looks beautiful. Just slice it up with an egg slicer. That's mostly for decoration. You really can chop it up. And spread it out. Plop it in. And it's perfect time to try. Just one more finishing touch. Some green onions. And now that's perfect. Let's grab a little bit of meatball, egg, a little bit of carrot, and don't burn yourself. You see the spinach? It's really crunchy. It's perfect. You got lean proteins between veal and egg, low sodium chicken stock. It only has 5 calories per cup. 1 whole cup of spinach, or you can use even 2, which is great in folate and iron. Green onions, and a great kick with FreeToBeFit spice. Low sodium, low fat, really high in protein. It's a great post-workout snack. And if you have not snack, meal, and you can also complement it with a slice of whole grain bread if you're eating it during lunch or dinner or before 4 o'clock. After everything after 4, really try to stay with just protein and vegetable. So as is, even in the evening, just without the bread, or if you just did your workout, you can even add a little bit of pasta. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's edition of 6-pack ab meals with summer spinach veal meatball soup. And until next time, FreeToBeFit. Ciao!